Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me. I am super excited to bring you the second release, or the second version of Magic Square's Night Tracer. This is the MS-B53D. This is the IDW version, or some are calling it the toy version. Very minimal differences, but I'm still excited to show it to you. So, let's go ahead and get into it. In the package, you do get one set of poster style instructions. Nice that it's not a reprint of the original. You do get the RGB colored trading card, legend scale, on the front. Shares the box art, and on the back, you get a silhouette with stats. He comes with the same military green pistol that we got in the first release. No changes here. It does come with the two leg fillers for combined mode, one for brawl and one for swindle. This time done in gray. Last but not least, he does come with the chest piece for combined mode for the toy version. Done all in gray plastic, but it does have a really nice detail etched into it. Looks really good. And there's no connection points on Onslaught, so it's got to connect to the section that's going to be coming with Vortex. Seeing as how we started the cartoon version review in robot mode, we're going to start the IDW version in truck mode. So let's take a look. You do still have the rotating turret. Can do a full 360. The barrels do move in and out. And you do have gun storage here on the top. Looks fantastic. The turret can also separate, and you can move it to a more forward position just by undoing this. Swinging these arms forward, like so, and reconnecting. That way, if you want, you can extend it up and have the gun sitting on top of the truck, on the cab. Your choice completely. I prefer it, myself, to be further back. But you do you. That is just my personal preference. It looks good either way. Continuing down the side, you do still have the silver rims with plastic black tires painted. You got the green storage tanks painted there. Black paint on the windows. That's about it. Coming to the rear, you have orange taillights. Same on this side. It does look fantastic. I'm not going to lie. Here's where we come to the difference. On the cartoon version, the bumper was gray. Now it is the same color as the truck. So, minor difference. That's it. It still does really pull off the part well, and you still have the ability to store the other vehicles on the rear if you want. It works for both swindle and brawl so far. So really magnificently done. Very G1 reminiscent Onslaught. Here he is with the other members of the group that we've gotten so far. And just for a real comparison in size, Magic Square's Motormaster. So let's go ahead and get into the transformation. It's easiest to start with the legs, so we're going to start there. What I like to do is push the gun to the side. You may need to adjust it to where it's in the forward position. So let's go ahead and do that. Just like so. And you want to start with the right side because this tab here is shaped so that it comes in from the top. So use your finger, use a spudger, do whatever you need to do. You can go ahead and separate this portion here. Might not hurt to do that first. Get this up. And a little bit of plastic stretching here, but you want to get this around the turret. Make sure you unfold this and leave that there for a second. Now you can see that we've taken that triangular shaped peg out. We can go ahead and separate the legs. Bring this over and down. Go ahead and pull this section out. Lift this section up. That's going to give you the ability to swing the leg forward, but first bring the foot down and out of the way. So on the knee, swing that forward and it'll actually tab in place. Bring this section down to lock it in. On this section, fold that piece in, bring it down and tab it in. This section will tab in here. Bear in mind, it's a little tight on this new copy, but then once you've done that, bring your leg down. And the foot will peg in right there. We'll show that again. Rotate the turret. Undo this connection here. Bring this section up and around. Rotate that down. Rotate this out, this up. Bring your foot down. Get it out of the way. Now, rock your leg up. Fold in this flap on the back of the leg. You can go ahead and peg that in. Bring this section down, peg it in, and peg in the side. Rock your foot up, make the connection there. Bring this section out and make sure it's all the way. And then collapse your leg and peg it in. So that is the lower waist done. We can go ahead and rotate the waist if we want. Like so. Now we want to bring this section up. Well, let's undo the doors first. Now we can bring this section up. Fold the windows on each door in. Leave them there for now. You want to rotate and fold on both of the wheel sections. They'll go like that. These will come around. There's a double hinge here, so make sure you have it all the way. Like so. One important part, this little piece right here, make sure you bring that down. Like that. Now, these pegs will go into those holes. It's a little tricky to line up at first, but you'll feel it click into place. You can unhook the hood from the arms. Grill will fold in and collapse. And instead of separating in the middle, pull these sections here, and this will allow you to hook onto the backpack like that. bring your arms down, straighten your fist out, flat, rotate your tire, twist this 180, and then twist this whole assembly 180 and close it. We'll show that again. Bring it down, flatten your tire, hand tucked in, flip up this section of the forearm, rotate 180, and then rotate this whole assembly 180 and close that back down. All right, now clean it up and we will take a look at them. So let's take a look at the figure. And the only difference you can see right away, the eyes are red instead of orange. So very minor differences. The main difference is the pieces for the combiner mode that he comes with. But still sculpted the same. Red eyes, gray faceplate, nice detail on the head. You get all the way back as far as articulation. Let's go back up a little bit. Solid across the shoulders, which is nice. You do get a joint here that lets you actually decide where to place the shoulders. You can pivot them up or down, give it a little more of a heroic look, I guess. But it's nice that they included it. Full rotation. You do get rotation right above the elbow, and the elbow gives you a lot more than 90 degrees. Hands do rotate, and you can actually take the hands out and use Megatron's hands. Just be aware they're a little tricky to get out because they're not exactly flat. They've got a little prong on either side to help keep them in. So do so with caution. But all the blue that you see is not painted. You've got the olive drab painted on the arms to match the gun turret. Gray on the waist, and then green and gray on the hips. As far as articulation, he is a little bit limited because of the backpack as far as rotation, but if you just pivot up slightly, he can go all the way around. Speaking of which, he does have a full 90-degree ab crunch. And if you really want to, he can go all the way down. Nice. As far as the hips, get the hip skirts out of the way. He can go well above 90 forward, about 30 degrees back, which is the norm now with Magic Square, and more than 90 to the side, which is great. Some people might complain that the hip skirts get stuck. That's because they're part of transformation. That's not a flaw. It's not an oversight. It's designed that way. Just so you know. The gray is painted in the center. Black is just plastic, but you do have green highlights. Rotation at the hips, giving you a nice range of motion there. You do have double jointed knees, which do get you the full run. Now, in the transformation, I did fail to mention, for truck mode, you want the knees back, but you do want to slide the knees forward for robot mode. But moving on, nice detail and green on the kneecaps. Looks really good. There's no toe up and or foot up and down, but each foot can go 90 degrees. Or sorry, the toe and the ankle can go full 90 degrees if you want them to. They can go. The toe can go down a little bit, but you do have a full 90-degree rocker. So, sculpt-wise, oh, we have gray paint there on the hips. Sculpt-wise, paint-wise, design-wise, I think that this really is one of the best figures put out by Magic Square. I would say equal to, if not just a little bit, not as good as their Magic Square Prime 2.0. But that's just my opinion. But he is, just as the cartoon version was, an outstanding, outstanding figure. Here he is with his fellow Combaticons, Swindle and Brawl. And here we have Magic Square Prime and New Age Galvatron. So let's start with the negatives. Lack of paint, as per usual. All the blue is just plastic. And I know a lot of people are going to complain about the materials, but he does feel very thick, very stout. One of the heftier of Magic Square's releases. My knees are a little bit loose, but that just might be my copy. Not a major issue. And the biggest complaint is probably going to be the business model. With Minosaur, they gave you both options as far as toy and cartoon versions in one set. Here, they seem to be taking a different route and making you buy two different sets. I can understand if they did more differences as far as from toy to toon version. Here, it's just simply the red eyes and the unpainted bumper. So, a little disappointing. Positives do definitely outweigh the negatives. The sculpting is very well done. Very reminiscent of the cartoon. The cartoon may be a little bit darker except for in a few scenes. The paint that is there is done flawlessly. I don't have any issues with the paint on mine. And the articulation is fantastic. I have nothing to say about those three areas, which are the main areas I focus on. So, in my opinion, he's a very well done figure. So overall, would I recommend him? Yeah, I would. He's very well done. And I couldn't be happier. I'm super excited about Vortex, who is appearing to be the next release. Definitely got him on pre-order. And Blastoff, hopefully, doesn't come much sooner or much later than that. Magic Square certainly seems to be focusing on getting these out quickly. But even though that is the case, they are extremely well Can't recommend more. I picked mine up from the showzstore.com. Check them out. Great pricing, fast shipping. This got here in record time in 5 days from China. So, good on them. If you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to get your bell on so you get notified about future content. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again next time.